The 10 best-selling products on TikTok Shop last quarter did $89 million between them, and 6 of those 10 were the exact same 2 categories. Not gadgets, not phone cases, not the cheap impulse junk every guru tells you to chase. 2 categories, quietly taking 60% of the biggest winners on the fastest growing sales channel on the planet, and almost nobody scrambling to sell on TikTok right now is even fishing in that pond. Here is what makes this dangerous instead of just interesting. Most sellers pick products backwards. They chase whatever looks like it might pop this week, a light, a gadget, a $2 trend, and then they cannot understand why the money spikes once and vanishes. But the top of this list is not random, and it is not luck. There is a hidden pattern sitting underneath these 6 products that decides, before you ever run a single ad, whether a product can actually build a business or just flash once and die. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 2 categories they are, the 3 reasons they quietly dominate, and the simple test you can run this week on anything you sell to see if it has the same DNA. Because this was never really about skincare. Let me set the stakes properly, because if you get this one idea wrong, it will cost you every dollar you spend on ads for the next year. Almost everyone selling online treats product selection like gambling. They watch a video, they see something going viral, they order a few units, they throw money at traffic, and they pray. And most of the time it flops, because they picked the product for the wrong reason. They picked it because it looked hot, not because it was built to last. What the top of this leaderboard is telling you, if you actually read it, is that the winners are not winning on novelty. They are winning on a structure, a shape of business that keeps paying long after the first viral clip is forgotten. And here is the part that stings. That structure has almost nothing to do with what the product is, and almost everything to do with how the product behaves after someone buys it. Stay with me, because once you see the shape, you will not be able to unsee it, and you will start rejecting half the products you were about to test. So let me actually show you the list, because the numbers do the arguing for me. The single best-selling product on TikTok Shop in the United States last quarter was a skincare balm. One little tube priced under $20, and it did just under $17 million in 90 days. 17 million from one product on one channel in one quarter. Number 3 on the entire list was another skincare product from the same brand, except this one was not cheap at all. It was a bundle that sold for around $240 and it pulled in over $10 million. Then further down you find a $15 t-shirt that did almost $8 million and a floor fan priced at $130 that did over $5.5 million. But when you step back and look at all 10, the thing that jumps out is not the prices, which are all over the map, from $15 to $240. It is that 6 of the 10 are the same 2 things: skincare and supplements, the stuff you rub on your face and the stuff you swallow. 6 of the 10 biggest winners on the entire platform, and that cannot be a coincidence. And there is a detail buried in that list that most people skim right past, but it is the single most important clue in the whole story, so slow down with me here. The number 1 product and the number 3 product came from the same brand. One tube priced under $20 did 17 million. One bundle priced around $240 did over 10 million. Same company, same channel, same quarter, and the price gap of more than 12 times between the 2 products, and both of them landed in the top 3 of the entire platform. Now think about how strange that is. If cheap impulse buying were the secret, the $240 kit should have been impossible. If premium positioning were the secret, the cheap tube should have been beneath them. Instead, the same brand won at both ends of the price ladder at the same time. That only happens when the thing driving the sales is not the price at all, but something the brand is doing that works whether the sticker says $20 or $200. Hold on to that, because it is the thread that unravels the entire pattern, and I will put it all the way through in a minute. Now here is the first trap, and almost everyone falls into it, so let me kill it before it kills your next order. The obvious takeaway from that list is, oh, so cheap impulse products win, I should go find a cheap little thing under $20 and sell it hard. That is exactly the wrong lesson, and the list itself proves it, because the number 3 product was $240. That is not an impulse buy. Nobody sees a $240 skincare bundle in their feed and taps buy without thinking. So if the winners range from a $15 tube to a $240 kit, then price is clearly not the pattern. And if it is not price, then everyone optimizing purely for the cheapest possible product is optimizing for the wrong variable entirely. They are staring at the leaderboard and reading it upside down. The real pattern is hiding behind the price, and it is made of 3 things stacked on top of each other. Miss any one of them and the product spikes and dies. Get all 3 and you get a balm that does $17 million in a quarter. Let me walk you through them one at a time, least obvious to most obvious, because the third one is the one that actually prints money. The first reason those 2 categories dominate is the one almost nobody thinks about when they are hunting for a viral product, and it is the quiet difference between a spike and a business. Skincare runs out, supplements run out. You buy that little balm, and if it works, in 6 or 8 weeks the tube is empty, and you come back and buy it again. You buy a bottle of supplements, and 30 days later the bottle is empty, and you buy another one and another one, for as long as you believe it is working. Now compare that to the gadget that everyone chases. You buy the light, or the phone gadget, or the kitchen tool, and you own it forever. You are never coming back. The seller got one sale out of you, and that is the end of the relationship. So picture 2 stores that both got a viral moment and both made $100,000 in week 1. The gadget store made $100,000 and now has to go find brand new customers all over again, from zero, to make another dollar. The skincare store made $100,000 and a big chunk of those buyers are going to come back next month, and the month after that, without the seller spending a cent to reacquire them. One of those stores is a firework, the other one is a machine. Same first week, completely different future. And that is only reason number 1. Reason number 2 is about the channel itself, and this is where TikTok specifically stacks the deck. TikTok is not a search engine, it is a proof machine. It rewards content that shows you something happening in front of your eyes, in 15 seconds, with your own thumb hovering over the screen. Now ask yourself, what kinds of products can actually show a transformation on camera in 15 seconds? Skincare can. You film the before, you film the after, you show the texture, you show the glow, you show a real face changing, and the viewer believes it because they watched it happen. Supplements ride the same wave, the energy story, the sleep story, the before and after of how someone feels and looks. These products are natively demonstrable. They were practically designed for a channel that runs on visible proof. Meanwhile, a lot of the products people try to force onto TikTok are things you cannot really show working in a short clip. They are boring on camera, so the creator has to talk you into it instead of showing you, and talking loses to showing every single time on this platform. So skincare and supplements do not just sell well on TikTok, they are shaped exactly like what the algorithm wants to push. And when the algorithm loves the format, your ad costs quietly fall while everyone else's rise. Which sets up reason number 3, the one that actually decides who survives. Reason number 3 is margin, and this is the one that has become life or death this year specifically. Here is the ugly truth about most of the cheap products people chase. After you pay for the product, and the shipping, and the platform fee, and the ads, and the inevitable returns, there is almost nothing left. You are running a business on pennies, and the moment anything goes wrong, a rise in ad costs, a new import duty, a spike in returns, you are underwater. Now look at cosmetics and supplements. These are some of the highest margin physical products in the entire world. The actual cost to make a tube of balm or a bottle of capsules is often a tiny fraction of what it sells for. That fat margin is not greed, it is armor. It is what lets a brand pay for aggressive ads and still profit. It is what lets them eat a return without bleeding. It is what lets them survive the exact cost shocks that are wiping out cheap goods sellers right now. The new tariffs, the rising ad prices, the returns that cost more than the item. The seller with a 70% margin can absorb a punch that instantly kills the seller with a 10% margin. So stack the three together. The product gets bought again and again, it proves itself on camera for almost nothing, and it carries enough margin to pay for reach and survive a bad month. That is not a lucky product, that is a fortress. Let me make the difference feel real, because numbers on a screen do not land until you picture two actual sellers. Imagine two people who both got the viral moment everyone dreams about. The first one is selling a trending gadget, one of those little projector lights that throw stars on the ceiling, the kind of thing that blows up in the feed for 2 weeks every year. They price it at $15, they catch a wave, and in that hot stretch they do tens of thousands of orders. It feels like they cracked the code. But the product costs them money to make and ship, the margin is thin, they own the customer for exactly one purchase, and the moment the trend cools, the orders fall off a cliff, and they are right back to hunting the next hot thing with nothing saved up underneath them. The second seller has the balm, slower start maybe, less explosive on day one. But every buyer who likes it comes back in 6 weeks, the margin is fat enough to keep buying ads even when the trend is quiet, and the video proof keeps working month after month because a glowing face never goes out of style. Give it a year, and the gadget seller has had 4 exhausting spikes and is tired and broke, while the balm seller has a growing base of repeat customers that compounds every single month. Same viral start, one built a treadmill, the other built an asset. And now, here is the turn, the thing this whole list has actually been pointing at. And it is bigger than skincare, bigger than TikTok, bigger than this one quarter. Go back to those 3 reasons and strip the category away. Forget the balm, forget the supplements, forget the $240 kit. What is left when you remove the specific product is a shape, a product people buy again and again, a product that proves itself in 15 seconds of video, a product with enough margin to pay for its own growth. That shape is the actual winner. Skincare and supplements just happen to be the categories where that shape shows up most naturally, which is why they took 6 of the top 10. But the shape is the lesson, not the category. Because if you can find or build a product in any category that has all 3 of those traits, a reason to be rebought, a way to be shown, and the margin to be advertised, you have the exact same engine that made a small tube of balm do $17 million. And most sellers will completely miss this. They will hear skincare wins and go dump money into a saturated skincare product with no repeat behavior, no demo, and no margin. And they will lose, and they will conclude the leaderboard lied to them. It did not lie. They read the category and ignore the structure. Let me make this concrete, because a shape you cannot test is useless. Take any product you are selling right now, or any product you were about to order, and run it through 3 questions in this exact order. Question 1, the repeat question. After someone buys this, is there any honest reason for them to buy it again within the next 90 days? If it runs out, if it gets used up, if it is part of a routine, the answer is yes, and you have a machine. If they buy it once and own it forever, the answer is no, and you are building a firework, and you need to know that going in. Question 2, the proof question. Can I show this product actually working or actually being satisfying in 15 silent seconds on a phone screen? If yes, TikTok will carry it for you and your ad costs stay low. If the only way to sell it is to talk someone into it, this is the wrong channel and the wrong product for it. Question 3, the margin question. After the product cost, the shipping, the fees, the ads, and the realistic return rate, is there enough left that I could double my ad spend and still profit? If yes, you can actually scale it. If no, you have a hobby that occasionally spikes, not a business. And here is why running those 3 questions this week matters more than it did even 6 months ago. The entire cheap and viral playbook is collapsing at the exact moment this leaderboard is showing you the alternative. Import loopholes are closing, so the pure price plays are getting squeezed. Ad costs keep climbing, so anything with a thin margin is drowning. Returns are eating sellers alive, and a return on a low-margin product is a catastrophe. Every one of those forces punishes the firework and rewards the machine. Which means the products at the top of this list are not just winning today, they are winning specifically because they are built to survive the conditions that are killing everyone else. The seller chasing a $2 gadget with a 10% margin and no repeat purchase is standing in the exact spot the market is squeezing hardest. And the seller with a consumable, demonstrable, high-margin product is standing in the one spot that is getting safer while everything around it gets more dangerous. That is the real reason 6 of 10 looked the way they did. It is not a trend. It is the market quietly rewarding a structure and punishing the lack of one. So let me answer the question I opened with cleanly and then give you the one move that actually matters. Yes, the 10 best-selling products on TikTok Shop last quarter did $89 million, and yes, 6 of them were skincare and supplements. But the 2 categories were never the answer. They were the fingerprint of the answer. The answer is a product that gets rebought, proves itself on camera, and carries enough margin to fund its own reach. Skincare and supplements are simply where that combination lives most often, which is why they dominate, and why the number one product was a $17 million tube, while a genuinely clever gadget could not even make the list. The categories will change. Next year it might be a different niche entirely, but the 3 traits will not change, because they are not about fashion, they are about how a business actually compounds. So the single most valuable thing you can do after this video is not run out and copy skincare. It is take your best-selling product, the one you are proudest of, and honestly answer whether anyone has a reason to buy it twice. Because if they do not, no viral clip in the world will save it. And if they do, you might be one repeat cycle away from a machine. And if you want the next layer of this, the part that turns a single winning product into a store that keeps compounding, subscribe, because the next video breaks down exactly how the brands at the top of that leaderboard turn a one-time viral buyer into a customer who comes back 4 times a year. The 3 ways to add a repeat purchase reason to a product that does not naturally have one, and the single offer structure that quietly doubles the value of every customer you already paid to acquire. The winners were never the ones with the most viral product. They were the ones who understood the shape underneath it and built the machine while everyone else was still chasing the firework.